Hey everybody, good morning. And let's see, we've got, wow, a bunch of people here this morning. Good to see everybody. Lieutenant Colonel Goose, good to see you. Rex, Arturo, Leah, Merle, Stephen, Diana, Dan, Jan, David, Larry. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. Dream. Bitcoin hit it's funny. Bitcoin did hit 100,000 at crypto.com. Crypto.com, it hit 100,000, but not at Coinbase, not at Binance, not on the futures. Anyway, Jim, good to see you. Donald, Michael, Jan, Wade, Rob, Sergio, as always, good to see you. Sledge, Diana, Ed, Mark, Hangovers to Happiness, Brian, Darren, John, channel member Spinborn, all the way from Iceland, good to see you. TB, how do you get rid of commercials? You upgrade to YouTube Premium. And Mary, Bob, Jan, Craig, Ted, welcome everybody. Rob, and Wrongamer, good to see you, man. Hope you have fun fixing Teslas today. Unless you took the day off. Ted, Gary, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. And sometimes this whole thing we do is simple as global liquidity. Sometimes it's simple as that. And unsurprisingly, Bitcoin follows global liquidity. And check this out right here. Pull this over, share the screen, and here we have it. Global liquidity right there. And guess what? Bitcoin probably going to follow suit. And the US market probably going to follow suit. And the global market's probably going to follow suit. So there you go. There you go. I never know if you're going to play on the ice or one of those things you do. Wrong word. Anyway, so global liquidity, sometimes it's just as plain and simple as that right there. Guess what? Global liquidity started taking off about 6 weeks ago, and Bitcoin started taking off about a 6-week lag. Looks like we're going to keep climbing into the end of the year, potentially. It's September, October, November. Well, I guess it's probably September, October, November, December. Right there. Just getting ready to start in December. So, maybe. I think we're going to see U.S. markets continuing to climb as global liquidity increases. How do you pull this up on TradingView? Not sure. XBT is Bitcoin on this platform. A lot of people pull it up as XBT. I forget what platform. It's one of the platforms. Early on, it was XBT, and it's kind of like what it keeps being. So if you're wondering what XBT is, that's Bitcoin. All right. That's why we got it shown on here. And this was done this chart was from back at the beginning of October. And look at where we are now. Heck yeah. So watch for global liquidity increases, and sometimes it's as simple as that. It's the only thing in the entire world that's 98% correlated to S&P 500 right here. I mean, and Bitcoin's price moves in the same direction as global liquidity 83% of the time. So US market, highly correlated to global liquidity. Bitcoin, pretty highly, not as tight as S&P 500 right there. So it's kind of interesting, I guess you might say. And this right here over the past 12 months, check out, this is how correlated different things are to global liquidity in the last 12 months. Got Bitcoin, SPX, VT, gold, EEM, TLT, and bonds. Bonds and TLT, they're playing a different game. But these over here, oh yeah. And gold, I mean, gold you can almost count on. That's I think it's pretty interesting. So global liquidity is definitely one of those things to keep an eye on. I don't know how to pull it up in TradingView. If somebody does, let me know in the chat. We'll pull it up. I have not found an accurate, reliable way to pull it up in TradingView. I'm sure it's just a matter of time before they have it. But, you know, we can pop over here and type it in. Global liquidity. Now, see, there's this. There's not like an interesting economic indicator for that. And central bank liquidity. It's just, I'm not seeing anything on TradingView. And I know there's a few indicators. I actually have one down here on the bottom. I actually keep this on all the time. You know, we just don't look at it most of the time. And come on, net liquidity, load. Did they break it? There it goes. There it goes. So we're in a red period on global liquidity. There we go. Now I messed up my chart, so that's going to be cool. There you go. That's a climbing net liquidity. And this is basically US net liquidity right here. We're into a red zone. Back here was the last green zone. These red zones have typically led to some pullbacks, but not as reliable. So it's kind of like we're running hot when we're in a red zone. And this is for those of you that are like, what the heck is that? How do you even get this thing? Let me pull it up. Trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called any news. Yeah, there it is. News Age right there. NEWZAGE Fed net liquidity. Right there. That's what it is. That's how you get that one. That's not mine. It's made by somebody else. You can dig into the source code and look at what it does. Basically, it kind of combines some wall CL with work gen with response YTD. Those are all Fred numbers right there. Does an EMA on it. Blah, blah, blah. Grab some SPX data. So if you're interested in it, you can dig into it, see what it is. I do keep it on my chart all the time. I just keep it off. It's sitting. That's the bar down there. It's always sitting there. So probably something interesting for a few of you. Now you can open scripts and templates from here. Got it. All right. So anybody having fun this week? Yeah, we got the TradingView. For those of you that don't know, TradingView is going to have a Black Friday sale. Thank you for reminding me, Rongamer. I don't get any benefit from this, but TradingView is pretty freaking cool for what we're doing. And maybe you're like, I just want to use Thinkorswim. I just want to use this, that, the other. Everybody I know that's actually started using TradingView and kind of started using it for charting. It's not for trading, it's for charting. They kind of start using it more because it doesn't matter what you draw on the chart. It shows up on your phone. If you use TradingView on your phone, it shows up on your computer, shows up on your laptop, shows up on your tablet. If you're somebody that uses different devices, you draw something on one place, it shows up everywhere. And your alerts. I love the TradingView alerts on my phone. Like I draw them on the chart and they come through on my phone and That's super handy. So this is one of those things that's coming up next week. Black Friday sale. They'll probably run it. They'll have a Black Friday, Cyber Monday, blah, blah, blah. It'll be 70% off, and you get free month if you buy a whole year. And I get nothing off this. So this is not me doing anything but a public service announcement right there. Starting soon. Maybe like, why aren't you an affiliate? Yeah, I'm not. I'm just not. So I like TradingView. You can pull up pretty much anything. I don't buy data. I just roll with I buy the premium subscription so I can have like 9 gazillion alerts. As you can see over here, I've got a lot of alerts cooking. And you can see all my alerts, 742 alerts are active right now. I guess 596 are alert. I have 269 price alerts, 327 algorithmic alerts, technical alerts. So you can have 800 total. I'm using the crap out of it. So it works. Yeah, it does work on renewals. I usually add a year or two every time they pop up the Black Friday sale. Lately, they've added a couple other sales. They had an Easter sale this past year. They had I think a 4th of July sale this past year. But the Black Friday sale is the one I usually load up on. Add a year or two to my subscription and just be happy with it. And at 70% off, you pay like, I don't know, a couple $100. What would normally cost you like 2 months or something like that. So super nice. Just throwing that out there. I use it every day. That's TradingView is what I have up, and has all my indicators, all my things are built into it. I don't solely use this. I don't care for the one thing I don't care for in TradingView is the Elliott Wave tools. They're kind of crap. I use MotiveWave for doing that part, but everything else, I mean, this does right now. It's not the full power of Apollo. It doesn't power Apollo engine totally. It's one little component of it. And right there is kicking off. But I mean, it's super nice. You don't necessarily need the premium, but one of those upgraded subscriptions could be nice. Look at AEM continuing. This is an opportunity right here. As I pointed out yesterday, I never went back to it because it never fired off my alert. But there you go. This is an opportunity. Probably going to go up here. Alrighty. Welcome to the show, everybody. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instruments. That includes leveraged instruments. All right, we're going to come back to this in a second. But those of you that are trading leverage on Bitcoins, through proxies or whatever, need to be freaking careful. All right, I don't want to hear about anybody losing a bunch of money because MSTR decided to pull back a little bit. All right, MSTX, that's leverage. You playing in MSTX, you're playing with fire, playing with nitroglycerin with a dump truck. All right, be careful. Don't buy stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries, leverage. Don't long them, don't trade them. If you desire personal financial advice, you want somebody to tell you what to do. Should I be adding? Should I be subtracting? Should I be booking profits? Always book profits. But if you need somebody to tell you what to do, hire and consult a financial advisor. We did have some news, financial news, coming out after the open today, I do believe. Yeah, we get the Flash Manufacturing and Flash Services PMI while I'm live here in about 14 minutes, 13 minutes. And then we'll get some consumer sentiment at the top of the hour in about 28 minutes. So there you go. Lots of people love TradingView and think it's worth it. If you're serious about doing this, now I know you're new at this, you don't have a lot of money, there's costs. And you look at I was there for a long time. I just wanted to use stuff for free. You can use TradingView for free. You can't do a lot of stuff with it. It limits you to just a few alerts with a free account. But as you get serious about this and actually start making some money and actually start doing this more than just messing around, you got to pay for tools. All right. This is one of the tools of the trade. It's like you don't go be an HVAC repair guy without having, all the stuff you got to have to put the Freon, the R134A in the thing. You got to have your vacuum pumps and all the, set of gauges and all that stuff. You got to have the tools. You got to have a drill. This is like, to me, this is like having a toolbox. All right. Got to have a toolbox with all my tools in it. Some tools you pay for, some tools you don't. This is one of those tools for the trade. Trading being the trade that we're working in. So just throwing that out there. Trading, getting a TradingView subscription, handy dandy. I highly recommend you run your own alerts. You don't count on other people. So there you go. All right, that's my 2 cents. I really like TradingView. I'm not endorsed. I'm not a partner. All that stuff. Just I just like it. I'd rather not be beholden to anybody. FOMC. Let's talk about this briefly. We have the 2024 calendar here. We have one more meeting coming up. I know it's not for a couple weeks, but that's the last one. Then we've got 2025 coming up. These are the big picture things to look at, right? This will be right after the inauguration right here. Then we might have some chaos ensuing after the inauguration. So keep these in mind right here. These dates. Chaos likely to ensue in the markets. Right there. Then they even have 26 out now. Recently published. So we know the next 2 years of FOMC dates right there. Don't get caught surprised. Alrighty. Back to what's moving today. Boy, what an entertaining day yesterday on ES. S&P 500. So for those of you that were here, I didn't like this price action. And I was very concerned about the way this did that. We got a deep retrace, but we still held on to the uptrend of lows. Still holding on to it with the retrace overnight. Still a bullish slant, but here's the big but. Always a but, right? Can't ever just be awesome, JT. Come on. This high, this low, this three-wave move in between. It's overlapping garbage. Even if you ignore this one and look at this one, still overlapping garbage. This is garbage price action. It's just, I don't find it highly reliable to place trades on. Draw you a trend line here. If we break below it, we're probably going lower low. Where should I put the trend line? Just put it in there. If we start, this is one of those things you can't necessarily be great at until you start doing it. All right. Candle bodies, that's a good indicator. Actual lowest lows, that's another good one. Place it in there. Set you an alert. You can place it like this. If you have, look, you can actually put an alert on the trend line right there. Did you know that? You can get an alert when we're breaking the trend line, crossing the trend line. You can get it only once if you want to know when we're crossing it. So there you go. That's another handy dandy reason why you should consider getting TradingView alerts through an upgrade. Now, this is also interesting. Look at this. Next rally, where do you think we got resistance at this point? That trend line. If we're going higher, right there's the resistance. Here's the support at the roadmap line. Now, why am I on the 30-minute chart? Because we finally broke through and retested right here. It's not necessarily evident on the 15-minute chart anymore. And we are holding the 15-minute, but it's more reliable patterns show up on the higher time frames. And we just got the hourly, but that's not a big one. This could be indicating we're about to do a reversal higher. Be careful. This could also very quickly, as I said, we break down below these lows, break down into this thing, make one more lower low down in this area. Already triggering my alert. I'm going to miss this trade. God darn it. Things I do for y'all live. All right. Back to the ES. I've been talking about patterns all week here this week. We did hit the 618 pretty definitively right there. Why ES and not looking at the S&P cash index? There's no gaps in this data. We trade all night. Gives me a full picture. So this low right here is really important right now at the roadmap line. Even the 1 hour, even the 30 minutes. If we get below that, we're probably going on down. All right, we've tested the 618 area. This is time to be cautious. We did not get through it. We've not pushed up. This is the high from back here, November 11th. This is the low from right here on November 19th. This high, this low. That's the 618 retrace, higher resistance. If we turn down, we're making a lower low than the 19th. Now we're coming into next week, Thanksgiving week for the US. I would love to have a banger of a week. It's just not reality. Every year I've been doing this since the late 90s, watching the charts every Thanksgiving week. The reason for that, I used to go to Atlanta where my grandfather lived, retired Air Force colonel, and he loved the stock market. First $1 million trader I knew that had $1 million portfolio, and we would kind of watch the charts for that half day on Friday, and or just watch, keep up with the market a little bit. So it was really fascinating to me, and so I've kept up with it kind of since then. And there's just not a banger of a Thanksgiving week. I mean, like all those years, just not an awesome week for trading. So please be careful next week. It may be. I mean, I'd love to have a good week. I'd love to see something blasting off, being awesome. But in general, we just get a choppy, nasty week next week. In Q, same situation, just looking kind of marginal. Not the best here. I have lots and lots and lots of fib lines drawn on this chart. We have not hit the upside target. Still shy of that. We had the high right here on the 11th, the low right down here on the 19th. Very, very much exactly like S&P, except we have not hit the 618 level. There may be room for NASDAQ to rally up, and then that may be what S&P is waiting on, is NASDAQ to pop up here and turn down. Caution right there on NASDAQ. Russell. Well, this one's a bit different here. That high, this low, coming up into the 618. That's actually pretty fascinating because this price action going down through here doesn't look anything like what we saw on ES or in Q. And here's the cautionary thing. This move up right there. 1, 2, 3. Right in the resistance. This may turn down. Three up is a correction of a trend. The trend down and puts us with a target. At this point, if we get that continuation down, right in here, zoom up to the daily. Oh, look at that. Look where that puts it. Can't make this stuff up. Watch out for that. Oil. Fudge. Everybody still see me? Something just popped up. Hold on. Not there. There we go. I'm back. All right. Yeah, something just popped up over all the screens. That's why I was like, all right. Oil just churning, not really burning. I kind of speculated that we may see this continue right out through there like that. Still what I expect, just sideways. Gold. Ooh, man. Rallying overnight, rejecting. That's the 618 level, I do believe. Let's draw it on there. That high. That low right there. Yep, look at that. Look at that. Can't make this stuff up. Beautiful. So resistance right in here. We need to get through that to go higher. 2,900. And it may take us through the end of the year to get up to 2,900. Right there. Pulling into resistance. Look at the lower time frame, seeing what we did. It's a more recent pullback. We just hit it about 5 or 6 in the morning here. Eastern time. Pulling back. Probably going to hit that 15-minute roadmap line. Yeah, it was back here Wednesday, last time we visited. May pull back, sit there a little bit before we can go again. And 30-minute hadn't really come into play since we broke out back here on the 18th. There's potential we come back down to the 30-minute. Even potential we come back to that 1 hour. Potential. But probably going to work on breaking out. So this could result in a retrace right here. This move up from this low through this high. That you see the rejection tail here and a rejection tail here. This could retrace, find support, and go again. Bitcoin. Psychological barrier at 100,000. Ooh, the futures. Oh, futures hit it. Look at that high. 100,005. Right there. Futures hit it. Beautiful. No. Coinbase did not hit it. High right there. 99,543. The Binance came up at 99,318. So, hey, good job, David. 50% profit on the Gold Rush trade, apparently hitting the 50% profit target. Nice. Ether, double topping. Be careful. That's that 618 level. Maybe like, what are you talking about, JT? What you talking about? Delete a few of these. Delete. We talk about a lot of things, and I just leave a lot of them on the chart. Got a few. So I got the big correction over here, and that's the 618 line for that right there. It's a big correction we did back here, last halving event for Bitcoin. That pullback, that low, all this stuff is set up right there. And I just moved those off the actual lows. Awesome. So that's the 618 level. We're kind of struggling right there. Funny enough. Now, this high right here, from March to this low right here, that was actually a lower low than this one on the futures. Look where the 618 level is. Yeah, this right there. Not magic that we're finding resistance there. It's just math. right there. These levels are programmed into all sorts of bots and stuff like that. Find a resistance, breaking through. This, I don't like the way this choppy price action started, but, and that's also the 1618 of that first move up. Yeah, there's strong resistance there. If and when we can break through, if we don't break through, we're going to go probably do a lower low. If we do break through, this thing will probably pop right up in here in very short order. Maybe even get those extensions right on up here. I should replace that with the newer fib line. Would not surprise me at all to go visit that number right there, 54.53, in short order upon popping. Still give high, I mean, it's like 60 bullish, 40 drop, maybe 55 bullish, 45 drop. There's still a high probability that we get this correction on Ethereum here. So be careful out there if you're long Ethereum stuff. Oh, look at that. Popping the target, almost hitting the upper target too. Thought we'd get that. NKD just still churning. This is my immediate global liquidity. It's like day-to-day global liquidity indicator right here. If we see this start ripping again, some more of these big green candles, U.S. market will probably start ripping again. Probably see S&P 500 going. So keep an eye on that one. Maybe I'm gonna put an alert here. Let me know that's popping. And so I go to the market. I pull everything pre-market. I pull everything moving $2 or more up. Put it on the gainers list, $2 or more down, put it on the decliners list. And just before we get through all this, ouch, everybody. So MSTR right here. Look at this, that high, this low. We're doing some stuff. We've been ping-ponging. How would I even move that? How would I even click on that? We've been ping-ponging these Fibonacci levels. Look. Bounce up, 1272. Crush it on up. Gap through that one. Pause. Hit the 2.272. Could come back. Be careful. Be careful. Could come back. Now, which one is it? Logarithmic or not logarithmic? You tell me. If it's not logarithmic, that was the 4236. And we came almost back to the 2618. And we kind of gapped all the way up there. Next go at it. Can be all the way up here. 766. Now what's interesting, yesterday Michael Sayer, sold like $3 billion worth of bonds. You can see it right here. Fact of the day. $3 billion of 0% convertible bonds. He plans on buying Bitcoin with it. But those convertible bonds are convertible at like 645, something like that, 649. Somewhere right there. That's not even a stretch at this point. But I bet he does another offering here, and we get another pullback. So the number that these are convertible at would be a number to watch out for if you're more into the twists and turns. So awesome, Gary. Glad you made out. So there's other games going on. There's going to be another liquidity dump probably up here. There was big shorts hit yesterday here. And they did that liquidity dump right there. When he's doing these offerings, it's going to make it pull back. That's kind of like his game plan. If you've seen any of the videos he talks about on Twitter, they got posted. He wants the price to spike so we can do a liquidity offer buy more Bitcoin so we can get another run and then do it again and do it again and do it again. And that's his game plan right there. I mean, he literally said that's his game plan. Like he was doing an interview. So if you don't know how this works, maybe don't trade MSTR as a proxy for Bitcoin. All right. Be careful out there. You could be in BitX, a lot less volatility. As you can see, we're not pulling back 50%. MSTX, that's a 50% pullback. All right. We hit 220 yesterday morning, down to 110, even 105. I mean, that was 50% pullback. Be careful. Remember what I say about exponential things. They're going to come back. But I'm not sure this is done yet. Be careful. Yeah, it is a ballsy move. It is. And that's you got to know what you're playing, all right? You got to know what the game plan is. I know you all follow me. I can't keep track of every game plan in the entire market, like by myself. So I've been researching on that one and watching. Now, it's his long-term goal or his long-term plan is to short the dollar, essentially, and go long Bitcoin. That's going to work long-term. I mean, check this out right here. The last, 110 years, purchasing power of $100 110 years ago was 3,000% higher than what we can right now. In other words, what used to buy, what you used to could for $100 in 1913, today that is going to cost you $3,115 in 2024 on average. So we've eroded 97% of the buying power over the last 110 years. So Michael Sayer's bet is this continues towards zero and Bitcoin continues to pop, which over the long term, that's probably going to work. So not to say we're not going to be without large pullbacks. ETSC, this could be done if we get the close above the 618 today. Could get the continuation up here. Dun, 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 dun. In tap. Another one. NetApp. Let's just remove the drawings. That high, that low. 138. Yeah, these are getting a pullback though. I would be careful. We were seeing a rally overnight. This is pulling back below the entry. Not good. That might come back down again. We need the close above the 618 to indicate we're going on up. ROST, Ross Stores, Ross the Boss, Ross Stores. I know Ross the Boss is haircuts, and Ross Stores is clothing, apparel, and footwear. Rejecting the 618. We got to close above it. That can indicate we're going higher. We reject. That can indicate we're going lower. That's why it's a big watch out level right there. MDB. Oh, this one might be setting up along here. Do have resistance at that trend line. Once we get above that, game on, baby. This could be cruising 900,000. That'd be pretty nice. MDB. Abercrombie Fitch. Popping. If we can break out of this downtrend of highs, probably going up to 211. SMCX. That's 2x long on SMCI. Back down here. Be careful. Whew, got some volatility. Popping and dropping. SMCI still hasn't gotten delisted. But it might. Be careful. I don't think they have an all clear from what I've heard still. They submitted a compliance plan to NASDAQ after late filing notice. The company appointed BND as its new auditor and reported $7.1 billion in sales for fiscal year 2023. So, fact of the day, they reported it, hired a new auditor. We'll see. Last I heard, BND had not actually accepted being their auditor. They had just submitted it, but definitely danger in this one. If you're holding it and you get delisted, there's nothing you can do. If you're holding it and this gets delisted, you're just sitting. You're stuck. Even if your options expire, you're stuck. You can't do jack squat. So be careful. Highly dangerous right there. Cold continuing to plummet. That means natural gas continuing the breakouts. And look at this. Look where we tagged right there. Dang, can't make this stuff up. 360. Got it. $4 next upside. I don't know. That could be done at 360. 360 was the bottom of the range. That pretty much tagged it. So Yang chopping around. We may see this climb on back to the roadmap line as we see continued softness in China stuff. Yen breaking below. See web breaking below. And be careful on China stuff. Halo. 1, 2, 3. 2. That could be the reversal. That can be done. That was the target area. Popping up, breaking above the roadmap line could indicate we're going higher. That 618 comes down to here. Right there. I'd want to see a gap fill at the minimum. Flutter Entertainment. Boeing getting a... Flutter continues to grind higher. Be careful. That's going to retrace eventually. Gap stores coming back down. 10 o'clock. Getting that news. Let's see what we got. Pending 71. Came in light here. Flash manufacturing came in expected. Flash services came in strong. Consumer sentiment came in weak. And inflation came in line. Just a kind of day. Gap potentially popping here. That high, this low. 618 rejection. If we can get above it, 32 on the upside. Data dog. Wow. Right to the extension. Beautiful. If you got that one, congratulations. Protect your profits. 171 maybe the upside there. Dell. Ooh, getting spicy here. Indicating we may see this climb higher. Do have a resistance level. Unfortunately, we have a resistance right there that may reject. But if you think we're going to do it, 200, possibly 220 on Dell. VST keeps rocking higher. 189 next upside. Snow. Okay, this one's launching off. We do have a gap fill. Big gap fill right over here. I could almost guarantee there's going to be traders ready to sell, and that may be where we get the pullback from. It may do this and come all the way back down here before we can go through. LEU has not hit the roadmap line yet. ARQQ, that's nasty. That's a reverse split. Dumpster fire right there. Don't trade these. If you're new here, dumpster fire is something that looks like this. They all look very similar. Down, 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 down. Reverse split. Creates a pop and then probably continues towards zero. JTAI. That one's got a reverse split and didn't even affect it. Just continues into the abyss. DPST, 163 upside. SMCI, danger. I would not trade this right now. Whack. Should undo that. I mean, look, all the way up here, I called for it to come down, and it did, and we got the target area. That was all the pre-split information up there. We did it. We came down. We got it. Now, there's no clear path. This can bounce, hit the roadmap line, and continue lower. Be careful on SMCI. ABBV, bouncing off the downtrend of lows. Maybe that results in a pop. That high, that low. 618 zone all the way up here at 189. And there's a large gap there. Large gap of resistance. AESI. Atlas. That's just a sideways chop. I wouldn't touch that. Intuit. Excuse me. My blue monster talking back to me. The Intuit gonna get a retrace back to the roadmap line. Reddit. Watch out. That one's going to pull back potentially at the 162 area. I mean, it could ramp on up to 264, but the higher this goes straight up, the bigger the correction is going to be. Don't really have enough roadmap line to do much here. App, probably going to pull back. Coin. It's got a lot of resistance getting through. This got hit along with proxies. Kind of got hit yesterday. There were a few of them that didn't really get hit, like Mora did pretty well in the face of MSTR and Coinbase getting hit. But Coinbase and MSTR both got hit yesterday. Pretty heavy. Mora started doing the same thing as MSTR. Selling those convertible bonds, buying Bitcoin. Like Mora's picking up that plan. They're going to start doing that. So Mora has potential to go exponential like MSTR after a couple of rounds. KSCP. Now you may be like, well, who would buy it? Who would give them that kind of money? The whole thing about it. There's family offices that have hundreds of millions of dollars, and they need someplace for that money to go and to earn some money. Fixed income securities, there's ETFs, there's mutual funds, there's all sorts of things that need these bonds. MSTR, the way they're doing it, makes their cash balance or their balance sheet look positive, even if they're not making any money with their core business, which their core business is now financing bonds for fixed income. But there's risk. All right, even though it seems like positive cash balance and all the stuff, there can be high risk in doing that game. So Mora's doing that game. There's several other companies jumping in on it. This is another one of those dumpster fires right there. Don't mess with it. Reverse splits are not bullish. All right, when you see 1/something, one for 2, 1 for 5. Certainly when it's like 1 for 30, 1 for 40, 1 for 50, 1 for 200, that's a giant danger sign. I'm just danger, danger, danger. You can lose a lot of money very quickly. Collapsing their available shares. Root coming up to resistance. This one may break out and go cruising on up here to 500. Oil, natural gas, leveraged, natural gas is pulling back, and this has reverse splits all over it. This is a declining asset. The cost of maintaining this ultra on natural gas eats this thing alive and causes it to go towards zero. AMIX, biotech, medical specialty, plummeting, and a dumpster fire. FUTU, probably coming back to the roadmap line, right down in here, around 75. Speaking of another one that decided to do the bond thing, this one, Smeller Scientific. Gonna do that bond thing that SMCI or MSTR is doing. Connell, pulling back with coin. Baidu, probably gonna get a lower low. Zeta, just churning. Resistance to the roadmap line. Watch for a next leg down if this is going to do it. This is not one I would be chasing for long right now. This can easily flush on down to that area right there. easily. And ALB, been waiting for the pullback on this one. We're just churning at the roadmap line. Watch for a pullback into this 84 area. If we get below it, we can go lower low. If we can hold it, we can break through. That's not showing strength, although it could just surprise us and do a pop, like crazy pop, and get above here, above these highs. But until it does it, that's just not a trade for me right now. And as I said, MSTX got hit yesterday. Pull back. MSTU, I'm sure got hit. MSTU got hit too. Nice big fat whack. But check it out. They're still in the uptrend. Like, still going in the uptrend. Expect volatility going forward for both of these. Baba continuing to get crushed. That may be it. It's entirely possible this goes lower low. Be very careful here. At this point, there was the low. Here was the high. We're at a need to hold it zone right there. If we don't, this can easily go lower low, similar to Baidu. China still being weak. Somebody coming into the White House is going to be tough on China, so we'll see what happens there. A funny story I was reading last night, speculating that he may not even need to institute any tariffs. Just talking about instituting the tariffs may have the desired effect. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Bias for the day for those sticking around. Give me a like if anything I said was helpful. Oh, let's look for a bonus trade real quick. We had 12 symbols on the list. Let me pull that up really quickly. Let's look at this real quick. For those of you still hanging on. Let's go down, mark this red. Let's see what we got. So here's the 12 symbols right there. And that one, don't like UNG. Why? 54%, low profit factor, and 11 trades. Number 2, 51 trades. That's pretty statistically significant, but that's a negative profit factor. That means the losses are bigger than the wins. SEMR, 2 trades since 2021. That's a new ticker. 1 trade since 2020. That's a new ticker. 13 trades. Maybe on Place. I think that's Children's Place. 54. Now that's starting to look better since 1968. 81%. And that Procter & Gamble looks pretty good. 23 trades. 82. 6 trades. 100. 30 trades. 83. That one looks better. EG right there. Looks better than PG. And 4 trades. 10 trades on CBOE. 18 trades. Although 90% win rate right there. CBOE. And that's the list. So looks like EG would be my pick. Let's go check it out there. EG. Roll back to the statistics. So 416 target. Whew. A little bit choppy. There's the high, there's the low, 416. Here's the target. Here's the entry. This was the trigger yesterday, right there, that candle. Here's what you can do. Here's the target. And this has been pretty choppy, so I'll be cautious as we approach the highs. This might be indicative you're just in for some chop. That's what it's been doing for the last year. Not my favorite, but let's see what PG is doing. Just as a secondary, that looks like a lot better place to put some risk on. And making its way to the target already. So there's that high, there's the low. 180 upside. Let's see if that jives with the, 180.57, stop below 158. Profit potential $8 upside. So there's 2 potentials right there. This one, chart wise, that looks a lot better. This is an uptrend. Looks like we can get continuation higher to the target. All right, bias for the day. For those of you still hanging out, 130 of you or so, let's check it out. Back down into the weeds here. Let's go back to the 30 minutes. So we're coming up on that trend line right there. If we get above it, things are looking positive, but watch out for a pullback. I tend to expect things to keep doing what they've been doing. This is just churning in a somewhat of a channel. Kind of expect it to come back to the bottom of the channel. That's kind of what I expect to do. And if we break down below the channel, down. So we break out of the channel, up. Otherwise, we may just stay in the channel through next week. Just chopping and grinding. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Be safe out there. I'll be live talking about crypto here in, I don't know, about an hour or so. Yeah, hour and 15 maybe. So I'll see you later. Have a great time. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. The account you save may be your own. I'll see you again on Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9:15. Set your alarm. Set your alert in your phone. And make sure you're subscribed and hit the notifications.